Hey guys, how's it going? It is I, the real Randy Chavez. I'm coming at you with a Trump supporters versus Biden supporters versus the middle. I'm just going to use an example from this weekend. I was talking to a friend of mine's friend. They seem pretty cool. And I think a lot of emotion got into it because the couple that I talked with, we went back and forth and I wasn't like accusatory. I wasn't just like, oh, well, there's, trying to be all high and mighty. I was just saying, like, well, this happens and then, this happens. And they were, or at least she was, I was talking to a couple, very much a Biden supporter. And he was, I think, a Biden supporter. I think he's probably more in the middle, but he was probably a Biden supporter just because she was a Biden supporter and, how that works. But we had good conversation. And I'm not a Trump supporter. Like, I'm not like Mr. MAGA or anything. I like certain things that he does. I dislike other things that he does. And I made a video of who do I think would be better for the country, who am I voting for, and I'm voting for Joe Jorgensen. But if they, I just had a good conversation back and forth, and we were able to entertain ideas without, and they didn't get mad or anything. They weren't the ones that would just be like, oh well, blah, 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 if you are defending him, you're a racist or Nazi supporter. Of course, if you can't tell, for those of you that are colorblind or actually blind, I am brown, and I am just no way would I ever be any type of Nazi supporter or Nazi sympathizer or anything along those lines. Not that saying a white person would is just probably have a better chance of being a Nazi sympathizer if you are not of a minority race. Anyway, I'm getting past the idea of this. She had said to me over the course of the conversation that, yeah, I had a conversation with my dad, and my dad, he was going to vote Trump, and she told me that she had told him that in 2016, like, okay, like whatever, you didn't know anything, nobody knows anything. Trump's a wild card, which he was, very much a wild card. And she said this time around, she's like, Dad, if you vote for Trump, you will no longer have a daughter. And I'm thinking, like, I don't know their relationship, since that. Obviously, they have enough of a relationship for them to talk on the phone. So there's got to be some type of good energy there at some point. I don't know if I would ever stop talking to someone if they had supported a candidate that I didn't like. Now, from this person's point of view, and this girl is not like a young girl. She's not like a 20-year-old whose head's filled with like these really, really liberal college professors that are pretty much communists, that are socialists, that are like, Trump is the evilest person, literally Hitler. She's not. Like, she's 35. Like, she's not a young kid. She's an adult. And her saying that, I was like, again, one, I would never do that. And two, she was also said on the phone, is like, if we elect Trump for a second term, the U.S. will literally be a third world country. And I don't think she meant that as like she heard a piece of propaganda like at a rally or something. I honestly think that's what she believes. And so I'm trying to like talk her down off the ledge. Like, listen, like there is a no way. Like, I don't care what happens, and I don't have a crystal ball, but there's no way the U.S. is going to be a third world. Like, I didn't ask this person, but it's doubtful this person had ever really left the country. It's doubtful this person had ever really seen anywhere else, just based on the way that she was talking. Didn't seem like very worldly. Probably never, left hometown type of deal. So I was going to that, and that's, but this is also someone that I think is able to have a conversation with me. She didn't say like, oh, okay, listen, you're a Nazi sympathizer. You are literally part of the problem, and you hate gay people, and you hate, whatever. Because I don't. Again, I was friends with, her friend. That's how we met, and my friend was, she's bi, so it's part of the LGBTQA community. So she probably guessed that I wasn't any type of bigot or racist or anything. Her, again, not knowing the color of my skin. And again, that's someone that I would like to say is a good, not really educated, but a Biden supporter that you can have a conversation with. Then you have people on the left, or then there's like the middle left. She's like kind of left. There's far left, and then there's middle left. Middle left, I think, would be her boyfriend. We had conversations about everything. He was a cool dude. I would fucking chill and have a beer with him. And they were both nice people. And again, I'm starting with the left just because that's where I am right now. Far left, you have those people that just literally, that they say, if you're defending Trump in any way, shape, or form, you're a Nazi sympathizer, you are alt-right, and you hate black people, and you hate gay people, and, you know, they just generalize that whole era. It's like, bro, that, and literally, like, and I'll get to the middle in a minute, but that's the very far left. Then you have kind of the right side. I don't know, can't believe I have to put these people in the middle right, but there is, I think, a bunch of younger Republicans that, yeah, their parents, let's say, were a little more old school. Maybe they believe in spanking, that I think is a right leaning thing. But a lot of younger Republicans tend to actually believe in climate change. And that is something that I think is a good thing. Some people on the left probably won't like that, because that's one of the things that the left has, you know, the left and the middle can agree on, that, okay, climate change is a thing, and the humans are not doing a very good job at helping the planet. They're not. They're taking carbon from inside the earth and they're putting it in the atmosphere via cars and airplanes and cargo ships, and it's not a good thing. And I'm 100% positive humans are accelerating the temperature, you know, the average global temperature, and they are helping to cause global warming. Now, having said that, the Earth is a very old and very weird place. And it's not like, okay, the universe is standing still, and, you know, the sun is standing still and the Earth is just revolving around that. No, like, here's our solar system. Here's our planets around sun, planets around it, and the sun is moving, I don't know how many billions of miles an hour this way. And so the Earth, because it's billions of years old, that's another thing, I'll get into religion later, but billions of years old, and it has gone through several ice ages already. Every 10,000 years, something like that, or 30,000 years, 100,000 years, 500, however many there is, even if it's a million years, how many fucking ice ages are how many ice ages are there where that's happened before humans were even around? How many happened where before humans were around? Okay, maybe there's humans and they were in the ice age, but no way are you contributing to global warming, like as like a caveman, Neanderthal. A lot of people make the argument saying that, okay, well, since, you know, industrial revolution and we're putting all this smog into the atmosphere, yes, I guarantee that definitely helps it along, raising temperature. But and maybe this coming ice age, if there is, you know, one coming, maybe it is caused by humans. Maybe this is the first ice age. Again, not even sure if it's going to come, but maybe it is, and maybe it is caused by humans, the first time ever. Or this is something that the Earth just goes through because it's billions of years old and this has happened before, whether we're here or not. And maybe, you know, we're contributing like a little bit to it. I don't know. But this is something that the left and the middle have agreed on, and that far right Republicans are just like, no, the global warming doesn't exist. And they'll try to make up all excuses and pseudoscience. They're like, well, polar bears can swim this amount, or it doesn't really matter how much ice there is. They don't need, like, fuck. Again, it's hard for language. You know, then there's the right that probably, well, as long as we're talking about the far right, that's saying, like, and, or just like, I don't mean like religious, okay, believe, you know, God, country, family, you know, whatever order it is, cool. Yeah, religion, if it helps you become a better person, great. If it helps you teach kids and inculcate them with values that you think are good and are going to help the world and help them become better people, great. I'm all for that. But the people that try to, like, not only impose their will on others, but also saying that the Earth is like 6,000 years old, and I'm like, oh my god! And I don't know how many of those people there are, but there's at least enough to where like it's mainstream enough to be have a. There's jokes in I don't know, Big Bang Theory and Young Sheldon, and like it's ubiquitous enough to be in the mainstream shows that they make jokes about it. So there's clearly enough people, especially in the Bible Belt, that might believe that, and you see memes like saying like, you know, parents teaching their kids say like, okay, no, dinosaurs aren't real, read the Bible, and like, fuck, and I've started with a couple, not just one person, a couple of people that say like, okay, well, in this Christian Science textbook I have, and trying to make explanations for all the things, like, I feel like, that's becoming less and less of a thing as time goes on. Because I think partly because of education, and not saying it can't be, one's like without the other, because a lot of people I know that are religious are just happen to be smarter than me. Again, not that the bar is very high. I don't think I'm insanely smart, but slightly above average. And then you have, again, as far as voting is concerned, I've seen it in memes where it says like everyone's aunt on Facebook, and they post something about like it's Jesus, it's Reagan and Trump, and like an American flag. Like nobody, absolutely no one, your aunt on Facebook, and that's what they post. So yeah, obviously both sides are a little crazy, but again, if you talk to just the right, just normal right people that, let's say people that are at Trump rallies even, and let's say I go to them as a brown person, let's say I'm in a BLM shirt, and I go to them and I say like, hey guys, how's it going? My name is Randy Chavez. I'd like to talk to you guys about a couple of things. Is it okay if I do so? I bet you most people there would be like, yes, let's talk. Because I've seen videos where happen to be black guys, but they were in MAGA gear. They were in Trump hats. I said, hey guys, can I join you? And all the other guys like, yeah, come on, join us. And just trying to prove that, not everyone that supports Trump is racist, because they're not. But again, I would feel much safer, me as a brown person in a BLM shirt going to a Trump rally and starting a conversation, versus me again as a brown person in a MAGA hat going to a BLM protest where there's anti. I would not do that. I actually would not do that, because that is a recipe for disaster, and I'm probably likely to get beaten up or shot, or like I will go to a BLM protest, and maybe I'll be in BLM t-shirt, maybe I'll just be in this, whatever it is, and I'll just record like, hey guys, can I have a conversation, like, why are we here? Let's tell the world. And they'll probably do it. They'll probably say a bunch of things, but again, I feel comfortable with doing one thing, and I'm not feeling comfortable doing that. So again, that speaks to how far right and how far left, how far extremist some people take it. Then we have the middle. And the middle, I love the middle. People that are centrist, like me, they love gay people, but they love guns, but they also love weed, but they also, I'm trying to think something else on the right that I agree with, love money. I don't know. Unfortunately, some people on the right, that are so business oriented, and they're willing to sacrifice the environment for profits. That is the stupidest fucking thing I've ever heard. Again, sorry for the language. And that's why, if you get to, I know people that hate Biden, people in the middle that just hate Biden, and maybe they don't mind most of what Trump does, but they are one issue, one policy voters. What are you doing for the environment? So they will vote left all the time. Not because they like Democrats, not because they identify with them, not because they hate Republicans or are in the never Trump camp, but there are a bunch of really smart people that think, that say hey, if we fuck up the earth and it is no longer viable to live on, nothing else matters. So any Republican, again, most times it's Republicans that say we could just bribe the EPA, raise the parts per million of this. So no, that is freaking horrible. That is awful. and I hate those people. Um, and then, God, they talk way too much about abortion. I feel like if Republicans did not deny climate change and they just, I'm not telling them even to vote differently. Just shut up about that and shut up about abortion. They would be freaking unstoppable. Like they would. Um, but again, the people in the middle that see the okay, you know what? Let's all. And there's a couple people in the middle that say like, hey, you know what? I see mostly people on the right. Most people that are not wearing masks are people on the right. That's not cool because let's say I like to go to the gym, and I could not go to the gym for months because of this pandemic. Partly because I'm in New York, and partly because Cuomo is one of the stupidest people on earth. But partly it's because people aren't wearing masks and it keeps spreading this COVID. And like, come on. But as long as we're talking about that, people in the middle had their businesses shut down, couldn't go to loved ones' funerals, couldn't go to loved ones' weddings. The weddings nowadays just suck. Like people are wearing masks and you can't dance and you have to stay at your table. Like, my God. That's not even fun. Like I wouldn't even have one. But they can't go to funerals. They can't go to weddings. They can't. Some people can't work. Some people their businesses are shut down, and they're falling behind on bills. It's like what 30 million families that can't feed their freaking kids. But a lot of the left, the ones that are in charge of the shutdowns, are saying like, you know what? Yeah, these protests where people are rioting and burning down those businesses that we say you can't open. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, we most of these people are peaceful while there's buildings burning in the background. The left, I don't care who you are, almost everyone in the middle that lost something because of the shutdown, and the left is saying like, oh, okay, and especially like Nancy Pelosi says like, you guys can't do this, but yeah, I'm gonna go get my hair done, and I'm gonna not wear a mask while doing it. Most people on the left, doesn't matter what the fuck the right does at this point, they're going to the right because they are so sick and tired of being lied to. They're so sick and tired of like being talked to like they're a kid. Like, my God. So that's what I think is going to happen. I have bet money that Donald Trump will win presidency. Again, I'm voting for Joe Jorgensen. That's what I'm doing. And the money that I get from my friend that I had made the bet with, I'm just going to donate to Best Friends Animal Society because that's what I do. I love them. Yeah, so that I can, for the most part, talk to almost anyone on the right. Again, middle right and right, far right and far left. No one can reach them. It's impossible. You need like a Mewtwo and have to be, into their brain like with psychic powers. There's no way to talk to them. So middle right and right, I can talk to. Middle left, I can definitely talk to. Left, it's a lot of those people saying that they will not talk to people and cut them out of their lives if they vote one way. I have not seen people on the right do that. And I talk to people all the time. I've not seen people on the right do that. A lot of people on the left, yeah, they've done that. Or I don't know if they've actively done that or if they're just threatening to do it and they won't. Kind of like, oh, if Trump wins, I'm leaving America, and then nobody left America. Yeah, so that's my opinions on that. There's been a lot of political strife lately. Just kind of letting you guys know where I am. That is what I'm doing. I love you all. I'm getting so many messages right now. I have so much stuff left to do. Please comment, like, and subscribe. Comments are good for the YouTube algorithm. Love you. Bye.